So about 250 miles north of us, the Rocky Mountains actually split. Most folks don't know this. Just a little south of Vail, Colorado area, and it breaks into two very distinct mountain ranges that dip down into northern New Mexico here. The Southern Rockies, both the Sangre de Cristos here on the east side and the San Juans about 50 miles on the west side of the valley, are in fact the youngest mountain ranges on planet Earth. For me as an outfitter guide, the challenge is, how do we bring people into these environments? How do we educate people about protecting and preserving these environments without sort of loving them to death? Because obviously if we don't have pristine areas to bring people, then folks aren't going to come here.
Taos was chosen as a pilot project for our ecotourism program for a multitude of different reasons, but one of the main reasons was the readiness of the community. They really stepped up and showed just what they're about. They've been doing ecotourism for generations before it even had a name. And our guides and outfitters in New Mexico really bring everything to life. It's a cast of characters out of a Wild West movie, and we're really privileged to live here and to be in the company of such a great group of people.
Howdy, my name is Francisco Antonio Miguel Niño de Ortiz Ladrón de Guevara. That's why they call me Cisco. Well, here in Taos, New Mexico, we have some really wonderful, unique opportunities to experience adventure travel because of the geology in the area, which has some unique aspects to it. The culture around here that's tied into the geology, also very unique and beautiful.
Uyey Cliffs is very important. It's our ancestral home from Santa Clara Pueblo, where our ancestors lived starting 600 to 400 years ago. In Pueblo culture, and especially Tewa culture, there's an emphasis on our interrelatedness with everything, you know. And I think that's where ecotourism comes in. We're reminded again of our place in the world, where we're standing, what we can see from there, and how we're a part of that fabric of the world that's around us.
From a historical standpoint, the Pueblos of New Mexico were never a nomadic tribe, so upon the origins of our ancestors, they settled along different parts of the Rio Grande. Taos has always been the northernmost pueblo, and so we've made permanent homes along the river, and because of the religious ties to the land, we have remained here for over 1,000 years.
Even before I came to work here, something that has always been very important to me is cultural preservation. And much of our culture is not written down. So, you know, they say everything about who we are is in your hands, you know. And I want to send that to the youth as well, saying, you know, no one else can carry this on for you. No one else can tell this to the younger generations. This is in your hands to carry this on.
I think community farming benefits not just the individual farmers, but the community itself. It benefits the restaurants in town. Also, it brings together our neighboring community. So it's just not about the community here at the Pueblo. It's also about our outside community. We're all getting together and providing fresh produce and teaching our younger generation.
I think that the opportunities in New Mexico were where I wanted to be because it's dynamic and people are forward-thinking as well as very, very conscious of the planet here.
Taos Ski Valley actually has more return guests than I think any other ski area, because once you get people to come here, they understand the cultural difference, that they can go to the Pueblo and spend an entire day doing something completely unique to this area, but then they can come up here and be part of this experience that's a little more European, but also eat New Mexican food, come to the Bavarian and have a German beer. It's like going to another country and you never leave Taos.
Here at the Bavarian you come to 10,200 feet, and you're going to have a high alpine environment with lots of outdoors adventures, from the fly fishing, rafting, horse riding, skiing, snowboarding in the winter. And the activities are right at your fingertips, at the gate to the wilderness.
my buddy Raja here, and Raja is one of our pack llamas. And you'll note that they have these soft, leather-padded, two-toed feet. So llamas are what we call the eco-friendly pack animal. They really leave a minimal impact in these fragile environments, even compared to other domesticated livestock like horses and mules and things like that. So these animals really help me to teach about conservation ethics, wilderness protection, and they're not making a hypocrite out of me by trashing out the trails and eating up all the vegetation while I'm out here talking about protecting and conserving our natural resources. I'm doing what I'm doing to make a difference here, and I really hope that these experiences reach people and touch people in a way that's going to bring something special back to their 9-to-5 daily lives at home.
It's the contribution of the ecotourism back to the local community that we're very excited about, and I'm really happy to be part of that.
Being able to open up a little bit of my home to people and allowing them to come in and experience who we are firsthand rather than to read it in a book, we feel that that is important to be able to give that sense of our history.
Look at the ground where you're walking, look at the view that surrounds you, and remind you of what it means to be a human being again.